Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We're going to wrap up our series this week on setting up the perfect peak week. And we're going to finish talking a little bit about training where we left off last time, but I'm going to start with cardio because, Adam and I agree we want to spread out training throughout the week so you can create that glycogen turnover. You want to be active even at the end of the week, even if it's just a little bit in the gym. Maybe it's 60% like Adam said last time, so that you're creating some glycogen turnover, drawing water back in, keeping that filminess away from you. If you're totally resting for 2 or 3 days, that can be a strategy that backfires in the fact that then on contest day, there's not a lot of crispness in the skin. But another way to address that, Adam, is cardio through the week. So tell me what your strategies are typically with how you're going to divide cardio up for that entire last week.
Yeah, always depends on the readiness of the client. And I would say if somebody's, needs some catching up, the front end of the week's just a little higher, but hardly ever will anyone do any HIIT cardio come Monday. It's just hard to recover from that. And like you said, we can see some film in the legs, especially if that's a big requirement for their division. So bodybuilding, classic physique, figure, and women's physique, you really want to back off the, turnover of glycogen in the legs if you can, because having that tightness and crispness is something that a lot of girls in physique and women's figure just aren't lean enough. And I know me and you see that all the time. So if you can get that extra crispness just by resting and not doing as much cardio, keeping those steady state sessions more so to a walk and cut down the time quite a bit, that can really help. I say 90% of the time with my figure competitors, one of the biggest changes aside from muscle fullness is tightness in the legs just from backing down that lower body activity during the week. And that would stay true for my male bodybuilders as well. I'm just amazed at how much more crispness that can bring out that week just from the added recovery.
Absolutely. And by doing that, by backing off the intensity and maybe the amount, a little bit of cardio, you can make your training even more effective. You're probably getting, if you go down to even testing the workload or the torque out of muscle fiber, you're probably just getting a little bit cleaner, better contractions, which we want for that last week because you're really working on that fine-tuning posing. You're probably going to be increasing posing practice anyway. So a lot of these things that Adam is saying just ends up decreasing your total volume of work, although we're still being pretty active. Like, for me, Adam, I never just say, okay, on Wednesday or Thursday, we're stopping. I want you to totally rest. And I know that's kind of an old school thing. They would deplete at the beginning of the week, train everything, and then totally rest. I want to stay active those last couple of days, but you can go too far with activity and flatten out. So, talk about those last couple of days and how you monitor overall work versus rest.
Yeah. So for me, monitoring time is huge. And then just making sure the client understands what type of intensity they're doing. We see this all the time where we give a client HIIT and they're doing it on the stair mill. And it's like, that's not HIIT because you can't move your feet fast enough to hit those steps, or at least I can't. But yeah, it's making sure that they know what LIST means. And basically, I just want to see a rise in their body temperature for the most part. Keep them moving. Also, too, just from a mental aspect, these are competitors where the gym is their life. So I think just mentally, it just makes them sharper, too, feeling like they did a little something. It's kind of part of their daily routine. And we already know routine's going to be broken so much with travel and things of that nature, which we'll cover in another podcast. But having a little bit of routine can really help a competitor's mental state as well. So just really watching and making sure that they're not doing too much, not letting the heart rate climb too high.
Yeah, and I find, and we'll close the whole session with this, the whole series. Even though tanning product is a consideration, sometimes those last couple workouts on, Friday afternoon, you do want to get warm. You may not be pouring buckets of sweat, but your subcutaneous sweat glands are still going to refill with water. But again, it's all about that turnover. And even if you're just evaporating from the skin lightly a little bit of sweat, you're still going to be drinking water, you're still going to be hydrated, but it's that constant turnover that has an impact. So guys, thanks for hanging in there through this entire series. This, of course, is not going to be the end of us talking about peaking, but we wanted to at least get those strategy components pegged into the ground, and now we'll come back and talk about them even more specifically. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time in Contest Prep University.